Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson on Classics. This is episode number 2934 and Doubleshot number 2828. We have two X mini-series here. Well, this one is actually the fifth volume of a series, but it is a mini-series. And it is by far the shortest volume of Cable to date. Yeah, it's Cable. We have Cable. Excuse me. Cable, United, We Fall. Written by Fabian Nicieza. Artwork here by Scott Eden, who does basically he's the main artist. It's only 4 issues, believe it or not. With Cam Smith and Liam Medina on the artwork too. Yeah, this is the shortest volume because the first volume was 107 issues. The second volume was technically 24, but it's actually 25. The third volume, which prior to this one being released, it was the shortest volume at only 5 issues. And this is 4. Yes, you have Fabian Nicieza back in the writing here for this. This, I believe, is the first time he's written this book since like the 90s. Yes. Now, Rob Liefeld himself, because I've met Fabian Nicieza, nice guy. Rob Liefeld called Fabian Nicieza a hack writer. And the way Chuck Dixon clarifies what hack writer is, it's like they only do this for the paycheck. It's like once finished, it's like they're so tired they're ready to do something else. This is set during the whole Fall of X storyline, which, from what I can tell, is probably the best thing that's happened to Krakoa, because there has been mixed things over the past few years. A friend of mine thought the Krakoa started back in 2018. No, it did not. It started back in 2019. That's what it's all started with. And yeah, we're pretty much reaching the end of an era for this one, because this era has been very mixed at best. I would say that I love the Hickman book. Hickman for X, I thought was really good. Duggan's was up and down. It was not really consistent the whole run so far. I finished reading it. But now we have Cable. Cable is not the first time we have a volume for him published under this era. As a matter of fact, he had a volume published in he had his previous volume published here by Gary Duggan himself. That was actually a pretty good volume, with art by Phil Doodle. So we started with Cable dealing with Stark Sentinel, which, by the way, Tony Stark didn't build these damn Sentinels. Nope, it was the guy who basically did a hostile takeover of his own company. And for some reason, Gary Duggan had it where Iron Man's book was connected to the X-Men. I don't know exactly why he did this for. He just did. So you have Cable here, being a badass, taking all these Sentinels out, fighting these Red Ninjas. And he's not here alone. Oh no. For some strange reason, they brought back young Cable. Yep. And the whole book is basically their adventures. And we see the return of Irene Merriweather, which, fun fact, the last time she appeared was the Despicable Deadpool, which Duggan wrote that, which Deadpool killed her. And then you see her here alive and well. My guess is the reason why that Nicieza did this, he probably didn't like the fact Duggan killed her off. So he brought her back, ignoring her death. So yeah, we have Cable, the two Cables working with her. Yeah, and the whole thing with Irene is, she actually, from the original story, she was in love with Cable. Yes. So you have a taxi turns to a flying car. Yeah. The whole book is basically old Cable, young Cable going on an adventure together. Which, despite this being written by like I said, a hack writer, it's a really fun book. It's like going to all these labs, and of course running to the film like the Grey Gargoyle, who is an Iron Man villain. Yes, he is an Iron Man villain. And I believe this is the first time Cable has ever met him. So yeah, Cable deals with Grey Gargoyle over the course of the later in the first issue, and then apparently he gives them the transmute virus. He gets rid of the whole Grey stuff, and does basically young Cable. Now you might be thinking because it's Cable, is Stripe here? You'll find out and see. So the thing is, like, Cable's is virusing a lot of control here. And then he meets this older lady named Amanda Mahler. Now, who is this woman here? Is she original to the Marvel comic universe? Well, let's find out. Oh, and the guy who, oh yeah. So the season decided to happen where uh kill off a character named Jonathan Chambers, always known as Imperion. Yeah, he gets cut off here. Okay, so Amanda Muller is actually an old character in the season created for Gambit, who debuted in Gambit Volume 3. Yeah, he brought her back here for a couple issues. Last time she appeared, it was X-Men Legacy 214, which came out in 2008. Yeah, she's always the Black Womb. So, she has not been seen. Prior to appearing in issue 2 of this very book, it was the first time in 16 years she's been seen. Yeah, and then we have clones, or basically young campfire clone. Yeah, it's going to be duplicates of Apocalypse, Magneto, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. So yeah, after dealing with them, old Cable shows up, help him out. Yeah, and then we have the issue end with young Cable shooting old Cable again. Which, by the way, he did this in the Extermination book. Okay, so Amanda Muller got killed off in this book. Yeah, then of course they bring in this character, this redhead woman. In issue 4. So, the reveal of this guy is actually an old character named Javelin Gavlin, who is a character that Caesar created for Deadpool. One of his books. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's almost like the Caesar is bringing back minor characters in this book. Because why not? And fight this purple guy. Named Henry Purvain. Yep. Deal with him and then basically Then the book kind of ends with the two Cables reuniting with Irene, and of course, basically they go off, and then the book ends with By Side by Two. Which that's something you don't hear very often. Yeah. Uh, for the last known volume release for Cable, and technically, here's some interesting. Issue 4 was, according to Legacy numbering for Cable, issue 175. Yeah. Good book. Good book, roughly a 8 out of 10. Next up was a book that bombed in the sales, so Marvel axed the book after only 5 issues. And that's Betsy, Braddock, Captain Britain. I heard this book ranked 75 out of 100. It's written by Tina Howard, and it's the last of the trilogy of books that she worked on for Marvel related to Betsy. First was Excalibur, and then was Knights of X. And I heard, sales-wise, this book did worse than Knights of X. Basically, it's a solo book for Betsy Braddock. Not the first one she's had. She did have one as Psylocke. Yes, when she was Kanan's body. So technically, in a way, this actually is her third series he actually had. The first one being a team up with Angel, and then Psylocke. Now this book, here's some highlights of this book. So basically, the big thing Tina Howard does continue in the book is, Betsy's relationship with Rachel Summers, who she's sleeping with. I should point out that prior to Tina Howard writing these characters, Rachel Gray they never defined she was gay or straight. She was a complete mystery. People assume she would have been straight because of the fact she briefly dated Nightcrawler. But in actuality, no one really knows. Not really. And then Tina Howard made her a lesbian. For reasons. Now, some might be blaming Tina Howard for outing Betsy Braddock as a lesbian. But in actuality, that's actually not true. Betsy Braddock is bisexual. And Tina Howard was not the person who did this. She brought it back for the character and had been pretty much been ignored. So, if you want to point the blame at somebody for this, it's Sam Humphries. He is the one for blame for doing this because in one of the issues for his Uncanny X-Force run, he had it where Betsy Braddock slept with Lady Phantom X. It never went anywhere, and then it was ignored by all the rest of the comics. So you could say that Tina Howard was bringing back something that had already been established. So, don't blame Teeny, blame Sam Humphries. So, the whole thing in this book is it's like rebuilding the Captain Britain core. And this is basically kind of the thing with this whole book is it's also a love letter in a way to the Captain Britain legacy. Brian, of course, is no longer, her brother is no longer Captain Britain. Yeah, that was something Tina Howard definitely did do. You could blame her for that. The whole thing of him losing his code name as being Captain Britain. Now he's known as Captain Avalon. So, yes, you can definitely blame Tina Howard for that part. Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, continuing thing, of course, you have, let's have Rachel and her kiss. Micromax basically doing his own thing. Oh, yeah, and also the fact Celine is here. Yes, Celine. No, it's not Celine, it's Morgan Le Fay. Yes. This is interesting. Some might be asking, when was the last time Morgan Le Fay appeared in comics? It had been a while. Okay, before she appeared in the book, The last book she appeared in was a book called Excellent, and she also was a recurring character briefly in the Teen Howard Scholar book, and then she also appeared in Doctor Doom. It's kind of surprising to bring her in here. Micromax, if those who are not familiar with this guy, yeah, this is somebody Chris Claremont created, and he doesn't do a lot per se in comics. Prior appearing in this particular book, his last known publication appearance was actually in Marvel Comics Presents Volume Number 12, which was released in 2008. So he had not been seen in 16 years. He mostly been featured in digital content. And the best way to describe this book, it's like, oh, it's all about Micromax and having the Fury appear here too. It's like a lot of stuff from past Captain Britain books appear here too. But it's like, okay, so let's have Tina Howard only reference her books. Do reference any previous Captain Britain books? Nope. Any previous Artemis Excalibur? Nope. It's like, that's the one thing I do criticize this book. There are no references to previous books. So you have Betsy hop in bed with Rachel, who is playing with her phone, and they kiss and they go to sleep. Yeah. More stuff with the Furies and Morgan Le Fay. And then, for some reason, I'm not sure why, in issue number 2, we have an appearance here by the Peggy Carter Captain Britain, which is interesting. Because you would think that they would not feature this character, given the fact she debuted in her own miniseries. And then here she returns here in this very book for the first 2 issues, and then she's gone. Never to be seen again. Also, they bring in the Lizzie Braddock character from the Captain Britain book for like 1 issue, and that's it for her. It's almost like, yeah, let's have a brief stopgap at basically this Captain Britain's Earth, and then do nothing with the character. Even Captain Britain turned to brief, like, eaten possessed by a robot with the Furies, and then Doctor and the Avengers get involved, which is interesting to say the least. And here's the weird thing of Morgan Le Fay. Her daughter is not featured in this book. Excuse me, yes. Carolyn Le Fay? Yeah, she's not here. Because, of course, her last appearance was in Deadpool Mercy number 5. That came out in 2016. Is she dead? No. As to why she doesn't appear? No idea. And by the fifth issue was to continue the whole fight here. Well, there's a Fury who's a Captain Britain. Yeah, who's basically like here's kind of thing with this character. Like prior to this series, last book this Fury appeared in was in Alex Knott's Secret Avengers book, where like this guy became a parent. Oh, and here's something interesting though about Alexis Knott. He didn't do a lot at Marvel. Not really. He just did Secret Avengers, a little bit of Volume 2, and he did Volume 3. He did Iron Patriot, Bucky Barton Winter Soldier, and that was it. Yeah, he did nothing else. Why he did nothing else? It's a mystery. Yeah, the Bucky Barnes book basically lasted for 11 issues. As for why in the world they did that, basically yeah, interesting book per se. Is it terrible? Not really. But I can kind of see why the book was canceled after 5 issues, and possibly why people didn't buy it. And some might be thinking, was this due to Tina Howard? Based on this writing, no. That wasn't the reason why. The reason why the book didn't sell very well because Marvel shoves out way too many titles. And this was a book that people clearly just didn't really give a damn about. It's just that I think because people didn't like this version of Excalibur, that she helps it up, and this is a continuation of that. And it's like she tried to continue it after the book got canceled at 24 issues. And my guess is like, okay, this is like, I guess Marvel's like, okay, you have one last time to tell your story, and then we're done with you. And some might be thinking, is Tina Howard done with Marvel? Like, is she, like, gone from the company? Like, does she do, like, anything else? She did do one more book after this. A wedding special. Or she wrote the second story, which was related to Captain Britain and Rachel Summers. And that was just this year. This book was published from February of last year to June. Not very long of a title. Like I said, the book is not terrible. It's just that it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's the best way just for this book. I'm going to give the book a 8 out of 10. Okay? So, yes. So I finished reviewing Excalibur Volume 3, I think when I finished a new Excalibur. I'll be done with Excalibur. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, do the dislike button. Well, I'd say videos tonight till tomorrow. Expect to see videos for me. Metal Heroes, Super Sentai, hopefully. Israel Integral Dungeon, and maybe Comic Corner 2. Okay, next video. Bye.